regardless of where you meet online, your relationship is more likely to end in
That's
divorce.
a really interesting stat.
So why, basically, is the question, does this happen? So I found a study that explored the long-term success of relationships between people who met on dating apps versus people who met IRL. And more stories, I've certainly heard more stories of like people meeting on dating apps and it working out.
Yeah.
Because they're becoming more common, more popular, very normalized.
Yeah.
But according to a recent study where researchers surveyed over 2,000 married adult couples over the age of 30, they discovered that dating app couples who got married were 6 times more likely to end in divorce in the first 3 years of marriage than those who met IRL.
I saw that and I was very sad for myself.
Well, and so interestingly too, they also found that there was no difference between those who met on sites like Tinder, which is viewed as like a hookup app, and those who met on dating apps like eHarmony, which are viewed as long-term dating apps.
Right. Or like an OkCupid, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So regardless of where you meet online, your relationship is more likely to end in
That's
divorce.
a really interesting stat.
So why, basically, is the question, does this happen? They're speculating that couples who meet online are marrying people who are relative strangers and who are not integrated within their social circles, as well as someone who you might meet in person.
Right.
So
who you might meet out with your friends.
Who meet out with your friends at work, at a club, with a shared experience. Like, these are not people who are integrated in your community. They're people who are separate from your life. And it's really hard to build those bridges. And so what happens is, you don't have access to those close support networks to help you deal with the challenges that you're going to face, compared to the relationships who meet via family or friends, neighbors, networks, etc. So where do you go to meet people if not online? Because I know, especially right now in a pandemic, it's the easiest thing to do is to swipe. So some stats showed that 18% of people were introduced via mutual friends. A fifth of couples met their current or most recent partner at work. So work is a great place to meet people.
Wow.
FYI.
Apparently you can shit where you eat.
15% met while out and about, which I assume is just like bars and stuff, restaurants.
Or there's that app. Well, I guess the apps don't work. But the one, where you can, it shows you people who are near you.
Yeah.
That you like, yeah.
But not apps, guys. You're doomed to fail.
Divorce.
15% connected through a shared hobby.
Cute.
6% met during university. And I think it was like less than 1% met via like blind dates or something like that. So
that's still like a friend setup, probably.
Exactly. So long story short, it's not that you're going to get divorced if you meet via Tinder, but the best thing you can do if you meet someone online is to integrate them to your friend group so that you have those close ties and a support system that's built in, and that your lives aren't totally separate.
That makes sense. Hinge used to be based on Facebook connections and who you're friends with, and they've lost that because they presumably had to
expand,
cast a wider net.
Yeah, people are probably like, I already know this person.
Yeah, well, that's like, we need that sort of app again to like do mutual friends. I just don't think that any of those apps actually work financially for the companies, because I have seen different iterations of that where, like, I think Betches came out with a dating app where you could swipe for your friend, and that maybe adds another like little level of,
but it doesn't actually introduce them into your friend group. It just lets your friend swipe for you.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I mean?
That's true.
I think basically just like the thing that you need in a relationship is community, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And so it's important to have that.
Yeah, you can't isolate the dating world.